let's be open you. My name is Muhammad. A new clip and a new video. But before starting, don't forget to pray for the Prophet Muhammad. May God bless him and grant him peace. We will tell two stories. Let's start with the first story. Its title is The Children's Session. One day, a mother had enlisted the help to her neighbor to take care of her young and only daughter, as she was a babysitter who had been working in her field of years. Despite her young age, she is very distinguished in her profession as she loved children, so her neighbors used to seek help from her from time to time. One this day, the babysitter accepted her neighbor's request appropriately and went with her to her home. As soon as the child's mother and her husband left the house to celebrate their wedding anniversary, the babysitter prepared dinner for the little girl, made her watch an educational program, and sat next to her looking at it with love. As soon as the child finished dinner, she asked the babysitter to bring her ice cream, which her mother hid away from her in the room at the bottom of the house, the basement. With all love, the girl came down and brought her ice cream. But when she started to leave that room, she noticed a little girl standing outside with her back to the window. The girl did not pay attention to her because she could be the neighbor's daughter and playing in the garden. When she placed the ice cream in front of the child, she was not happy, and when she asked her why, the child replied that it was not her favorite type, and again the girl returned to the basement. When she was about to go out after choosing the child's favorite type, she noticed the presence of the same child, but this time she had a very scary face and a knife in her hand. The girl was stunned and barely realized herself. She controlled her limbs to escape from the basement. As soon as she reached the child, she gave her ice cream while her forehead was filled with the sweat dripping from her extreme fear of what she saw. But the little girl still wanted something else from the cellar downstairs. She loves chocolate with ice cream. The girl almost exploded in her face, but she controlled herself and said, "Should I go down to the basement again? Why don't you tell me everything you want at once?" She returned to the basement, but her entire body was shaking for fear that she would see this terrifying child at any moment. She took the chocolate and quickly left, but her heart froze and she looked at the window, but she did not see the child at all. Climbed the stairs and went to the child to give her what she wanted, but she found her lying on the ground, drowned in her own blood. She collapsed, her screams became louder, and she fell to the ground in her place. When she regained control to herself, she called the police and the girl's parents, and when they realized that the girl was extremely collapsed, and when the police asked her if she saw something weird before the incident happened, the girl recounted everything that happened between her and the child and said that the strangest thing she encountered was in the basement when she saw a little girl in the window. But with the scary features and the knife in her hand, she added it must be the one who did this heinous act. The girl's mother was shocked and said, "But there is no window in the basement, there is only a mirror." The second story, The Stranger and the Christmas Party. One day, I went with my younger sister, who is 7 years old, to her friend's birthday party at school. My sister was so determined to attend the party that she saved all her money to be able to buy her a gift. As soon as we arrived at her friend's house, she was very happy. I let her play and have fun with her friends at school and just watch it. Far away, something happened to her that I did not expect at all. A man came to her, told her that he was her friend's father and the owner of the house. He began asking her many questions, including whether she liked cotton candy. When she told him that she loved it, he bought it for her in large quantities. Then he asked her which dolls she liked most to play with, and she answered him that she liked Barbie dolls. So he took her home to her friend's room and made her play with dolls and sat next to her. Suddenly her friend came and asked her how she knew about her room. Like young children, she screamed at her when she found all her dolls lying next to her on the floor for her to play with, and she replied that her father was the one who did that to her. Her friend screamed at her father for doing this to her dolls, but my sister insisted that he was not that man, but the last one who brought her here. It gave his features and her was the tragedy for all of us. That man with the characteristics that my sister told us about is the brother of her friend's father who died in the accident last year. Since that day, every time my sister saw a Barbie doll, she would forget and tears would fall from her eyes when she remembered it. She ran to the person closest to her, throwing herself into his arms and crying. Today's story is over. I hope it terrified you. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Write us your opinions in the comments and don't forget to pray for the Prophet Muhammad. May God bless him and grant him peace. May God's peace, mercy and blessings be upon you.